Welcome back, everyone, to the third episode of the Hutch and Huber Podcast. We're back again. It's Hutch and it's Huber. We've got a few different topics today to go through, not just current event sports things. We came up with some other ideas to talk about this week on the podcast. I think it should be pretty fun.
Yeah, it's kind of more soccer theme this episode. We haven't really talked about soccer that much. But
We got a reply on Twitter. Someone asked us to please talk about the World Cup. So we are going to talk about the World Cup in a way. Yeah, shout out to that guy. Shout out to Willie. I see you. All right. The first thing I want to talk about this week, it's a hypothetical. So I'm a Kentucky fan. He's an IU fan. So let's just say that today, Kentucky and Indiana both discontinued their college basketball programs. So they no longer exist. We've got to choose a new favorite college basketball team. I think that's both our favorite sport to watch and follow. So we got to choose a new favorite team. There's a lot of things that go into this. What are you thinking?
A lot of people might bash me for this, but I would take Duke. But not the main reason isn't because they're a really good basketball team. That's one of the reasons. But probably the number one reason is that my hatred for Kentucky is over my love for any other team. So besides, Kentucky and Indiana have a big rivalry, and they also have a big one with Duke.
I don't know if it's that big of a rivalry anymore, but I mean, it is for me. It is for me because I live in Indiana. But
for us living in Southern Indiana, it's still a big rivalry, even though we don't play each other anymore.
That's true. I think we are going to play each other soon. Yeah, I hope that happens. That's another topic, though. It is going to happen.
But I would choose Duke just because I hate Kentucky so much, and they play every year because they're both really good teams and they play.
No, we actually don't play every year, but we play at least once every 3 years. We do play this year.
You didn't play last year?
No, we played. It's in the Champions Classic. There's 4 teams. It's a rotating thing, so we play them once every 3 years.
Yeah, and also I don't want to sound like a bandwagon, but they're pretty good too. I mean, Indiana hasn't been that good in the past 10 years. We had a couple really good teams and didn't make it as far as I wanted them to in the tournament. But
can't win a game in the second weekend.
Since 1985, Duke has won 5 national. Well, since 1985, when the NCAA tournament expanded to 64 teams, Duke has won 5 titles, and that's the most out of anyone. So they're the most dominant team, and since in the 64 tournament format.
Yeah, I understood your first couple points, but then you said you didn't want to sound like a bandwagon and join the Duke train because they're good. But then you bring up that statistic. That does make you sound like a bandwagon.
Well, I understand that. But if the Pacers stopped being a team, I wouldn't be a Warriors fan. I would be.
Okay, but you're doing the opposite this time. Well, although I do understand your other points.
All the teams I like are never good. I mean, let's think about that. I'm a Reds fan. They've been awful for the past 4 or 5 years. Indiana basketball, we just kind of been mediocre. The Cowboys had one really good year when Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott were monsters their rookie season. But, I mean...
All the teams you're a fan of were good before you were born.
Exactly.
Right before you were born.
They all got really bad.
So you were a bandwagon when you were like 1 or 2 years old, and now you're getting screwed.
Well, they were still bad when I was young. I mean, they were good in the 80s and 90s. Pretty much all those teams.
Yeah.
All right, so what team would you choose?
I narrowed it down to 2. I got Butler, but the Butler Bulldogs and North Carolina Tar Heels. A few things went into this for me. Like Sterling, my hatred for other teams was factored into this. I ended up choosing North Carolina because of a few reasons. The biggest reason being that we get to play Duke every 2 years, so I can still hate Duke, and I get to be a part of that awesome rivalry. I already cheer for Carolina twice a year anyways when they play Duke.
And we can still argue.
Right. That's an awesome rivalry. Yeah, I could still argue with Huber. I can still hate his college basketball team.
I can still hate yours.
And that rivalry, I want to be a part of that. That's awesome. That's an awesome rivalry. That's maybe the best rivalry in sports. I don't know. Maybe.
Debatable.
And then
Harvard Yale.
Harvard Yale, that's
might be
good.
The best one.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I could still hate Louisville because we'd still be in the ACC, so we'd play them at least once every year, maybe twice a year. So I'd still get to hate Duke and Louisville, which are the two teams that I hate the most. And I'd still get to hate Sterling's college basketball team, which is definitely a pro. And then a con for Butler, although I like both teams' colors. That's a big thing for me. A con for Butler, though, is that their mascot is the Bulldogs. That's a shame because the Bulldogs would have to be my actual least favorite mascot because of our high school rivalry with a team down the street called the Bulldogs.
No, I actually didn't even think about that, but
yeah. And a couple other reasons for Carolina. I got to be honest here. Kentucky football's on the rise. I'm a big Kentucky football fan. I love watching Kentucky football. But historically, my whole life hasn't been that great. So I would like to, since I'm still going to be a Kentucky football fan, have a team in college basketball that's pretty good. So to combat the awfulness of Kentucky football. So that's another good reason to go for Carolina.
exactly. I want to cheer for a team that's going to be good. I'm not going to willingly cheer for a team that I know is bad.
Yeah, I actually already have a secondary team, but I would keep them as my secondary team because I still want a major conference team. I'm an Albany Great Danes fan from Albany, New York, but I want to cheer for a major conference team first.
My secondary team would be Notre Dame, just because I've always been a Notre Dame fan, and they're always pretty good at basketball.
They're decent at basketball. I do kind of like Notre Dame as well. They might actually be third, top 5 on my list, but I end up going with Carolina. So our next topic, like we said, we got a reply on Twitter. They said you got to talk about the World Cup. I mean, come on, it's the biggest sports tournament in the world. Once every 4 years, it's happening right now. Got to talk about the World Cup, right? Here's the problem: neither one of us really knows anything about soccer.
I know 3 soccer players: Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, and Neymar. And the Zlatan guy, so that's 4.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I know more than 3, but I'm no soccer expert at all, by any means. So we decided to put our own spin on the World Cup. We created our own World Cup. It's called the World Cup of Food.
Yeah, we both really like to eat, and we like food, so.
This is true. So we got the top. We made our own selection process. We took the top, in our eyes, the top 8 countries in the world with the best food.
In our opinion.
In our opinion, right. We did a random number generator to generate the bracket, an 8-team single elimination bracket. We're going to break it down for you today, give you our votes, and we're going to find our World Cup of Food champion.
All right, so the first...
Well, actually, first, I would like to say that watching the World Cup is actually really fun. Have you watched any of it?
No, I have not.
You haven't watched any of the World Cup?
I watched a few minutes of it.
You should. I like it. It's fun to watch the fans and how into it they get.
I just can't watch soccer. I'm sorry, but it's...
I actually really like soccer. No commercials.
I'm just not into
is pretty awesome. No commercials for 50 minutes. It's pretty solid. Anyways.
All right, let's get to the first matchup. Our own United States of America against Germany, who just got knocked out.
They did get knocked out. I enjoyed that. That was pretty fun.
So let's take into consideration USA has cheeseburgers, hot dogs, just American food. And then Germany, pretty much all we know is bratwurst.
Bratwurst. Germany was the 8th team in. They were the last team to get in.
Yeah. So in a landslide, I think you all would take...
We're both taking America.
Yeah. All right, so the next matchup below them is Belgium and Mexico. This had to go to a tiebreaker.
It did, but so this seems like a landslide to most people, right? But everybody knows Mexican food, you got the tacos, the burritos, all those kind of things. Belgium, we basically got 2 things, but they're great 2 things. You got the Belgian waffle, which is basically the same as an American waffle. It's just thick, which is good. And then Belgium, not a lot of people know this. A lot of people attribute these to France, but French fries were actually started in Belgium. So those are the 2 things for Belgium.
Yeah, Bryce just told me that about 30 minutes ago. So, you learn something new every day.
Yeah. I am actually going to go with the upset. take Belgium.
Yeah, I took Mexico just because. I mean, I like waffles and French fries, but I mean, I eat Mexican food so much. It's a part of my life so much.
I actually might eat waffles more than Mexican food. I like a good waffle.
Yeah, I do too, but I just eat Mexican food a lot more.
All right, so it's a 1-1 tie. Gotta have a tiebreaker. You know, there's only Hutch and Huber on the podcast. I say we call up our friend. Who you want? Let's play a game. I'll scroll through my phone, my contacts. You tell me when to stop, and we'll call whoever I land on.
All right.
Scrolling through.
Almost to the bottom. All right, stop.
All right. Okay. Drake. We're gonna call Drake. Have him decide the tiebreaker. Belgium and Mexico. All right, Drake.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd want to be in this because I mean he's a big Canadian dude, and they didn't even make this bracket, so
he may be mad that he may be upset that Canada didn't make it. Anyways, all right, we're back. We got on the phone with Drake. You know, it was a pretty easy answer for him. He wasn't happy that the Canadians didn't make the bracket. To be honest with you, I don't really know what they eat in Canada. But anyways, he took Mexico, which is a shame. It's the popular pick. I was into Belgium though. I think Belgium was a sleeper team in this.
I can see if Belgium was on the other side of the bracket, I think they might have squeaked into the semifinal, but they just got an unlucky draw.
All right, so moving to the other side of the bracket, we've got France and we've got England, 2 European countries going head to head.
I mean, France, they got bread, cheese. I mean, that's what you get in jails. So, and they got wine, which never tasted.
We're both 16, so can't really take that one into consideration.
And I'm not a bad kid, so I cannot. I'm saying I've never had that before. So England, they got fish and chips. What else you gotta say?
That's all you gotta say. I like fish and chips. I'm taking England.
Yeah, same here.
France, that's not a very strong team.
No,
I mean, I would take it over Germany. France was the second to last team.
See, if Belgium was there, I might have taken Belgium over England. They may.
I would 100% take Belgium over England.
All right, and the last first round matchup, Italy and China.
Italy-China.
This was an interesting
couple of
one.
powerhouses right here.
Very interesting one. I took Italy because spaghetti and meatballs.
China, people think of Chinese food, like think of takeout. That's good.
Chinese
but
food
it's
is
like
amazing.
Americanized Chinese food. So I took Italy as well. Italy, yeah, I mean Italy is a power.
It would be maybe a number 1 seed in this.
Oh yeah, you got spaghetti,
pizza,
fettuccine, Alfredo sauce,
garlic bread.
I mean Italy. That's a force to be reckoned with in this bracket. So moving on to the semifinals.
The first semifinal matchup is USA.
Got a Western Hemisphere matchup.
USA and Mexico.
This is pretty easy for me. I voted for Mexico to lose in the first round. I'm going to vote for them to lose in the second round. USA all the way.
There might be a little bias here, but I mean overall, USA still better. So
yeah.
I took them.
I don't think it's that close.
No.
I'll take it. I mean, taco's good, but I'll take a cheeseburger over any Mexican food any day.
And then moving on to the other semifinal, England and Italy. I think England was
a walk.
I think England was a weak Final Four team here. So Italy
I do too.
Italy
They only
blows them out of the water.
Italy does blow them out of the water. That's 2-0. So to the title match. If the World Cup of Food was on TV, could you imagine how many people would be watching this? America versus Italy. The ratings that would get through the roof. Insane. USA, Italy. For me, this one, I've got to take Italy. I mean, like we said earlier, I'm a big fan of pizza, pasta, all very good.
And I can see what you're saying there, but
oh no. Okay.
I just eat. I mean, cheeseburgers and hot dogs. I don't know how you can take spaghetti over that. I mean, a good Big Mac or
A Big Mac?
Or, just like a triple cheeseburger from Wendy's or Culver's, man. Like, nothing beats that.
All right. Okay, 1-1. We're going to have to do another tiebreaker here. Actually, I mean, I'm still taking Italy, but it's not that bad of a pick to take America here. So I say, in honor of the World Cup, I think we should call our friend. Let's play the contact game again. No, actually, yes.
I think you got one in mind.
I do have one in mind. In honor of the World Cup right now, Argentina just squeaked by to get second place in their group. Let's call our friend Lionel Messi. We'll be back. Lionel Messi snubbed us. He didn't answer. I think he's big timing us. He didn't answer. We do have another soccer friend who is participating in the World Cup right now, who is actually pretty good at the sport they call football.
He probably thought you were a telemarketer, so he just didn't pick it up.
Whatever. So we'll call our other friend. I believe his name is Cristiano Ronaldo. We'll be back with his pick. All right, our Portuguese friend, Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the biggest athletes in the world. He's a European guy. He took Italy. Italy wins the champion of the 2018 Hutch and Huber World Cup of Food bracket. Italy. The Italians. They're partying in the streets right now. They're going nuts.
And I'm not mad about it. They're still a really good food country.
I have a hunch you may have picked USA just because you wanted to go to a tiebreaker. Make it interesting.
Who knows? The world will never know.
They'll never know. All right. We've got two more topics today. One more sports topic. And actually, of course, the non-sports topic of the week. But first, we'll do our third sports topic. Actually, really just the second. But, all right. Free kicks in soccer. We do have the World Cup going on right now. We're actually going to talk a little bit of soccer. In the World Cup, in the knockout stage, once you get to 16 teams and it's single elimination, you play. This is all like knockout soccer games are like this. Single elimination games, winner go home. All soccer games are like this. After two 15-minute overtimes, if no one is after a 30-minute overtime, I don't know if it's 2 15 minutes or 1 30-minute, either way. If no one's ahead, then if it's still tied, they go to penalty kicks. So I'm actually not a big fan of this. Each team takes 5 penalty kicks. Whoever scores more times wins the game. I'm not a big fan of this. I think it's like after an overtime in a basketball game, the game's still tied. You have a 3-point contest, see who wins the game. You're not even playing the sport anymore.
That's what they do in hockey.
Yeah, I don't like it in hockey either. Especially in hockey, there's a decent amount of scoring in hockey nowadays. Somebody will score if you play long enough.
So you think they should just keep playing or call it a tie?
Well, you have to keep playing because it's single elimination.
Oh, you're talking about, okay, so you just say keep playing instead of a shootout, or?
Yeah, just keep playing. It's like having a home run derby in baseball after they're still tied in the 10th inning. We'll talk about that later.
But what happens if the game is just like it just keeps going on? It goes to like the 200th minute, and they're super super tired.
I think maybe you put in some extra rules to where after 30 minutes of overtime, in soccer you only get 3 substitutions. I think maybe you should get more substitutions, 3, 4, 5 more substitutions at that point, so you can keep playing the game.
What if they make the goal bigger? Like,
you can't make the goal bigger midway through the game.
No,
they take a goal off the field, roll a new one on.
After the 90th minute, just like...
No, I think that's stupid. That's changing the game as well. Different goals at different points in the game. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I mean, what if it just keeps going on and no one scores?
I think somebody will eventually score. Somebody's eventually going to score.
Okay.
And these are important games, too. So you just got to keep playing.
Do you think they should make the soccer goal bigger?
I'm not a soccer expert. I'm not educated enough on that to have an opinion.
Yeah, I think everyone's in favor of more scoring.
I don't know about that. Well, in America, I think maybe most people are, but I don't really know how it is in the soccer-crazed countries. In Europe, and Asia. I'm not an expert on that. We have one more sports topic. This kind of goes in with the penalty kicks in soccer. Extra inning rules in baseball. They're experimenting with a new rule in AAA where at the start of the 10th inning, and I believe every extra inning after the 10th inning, they start off with a man on second base. Each team starts off with a man on second base. You like this idea or not? You could make the game end quicker. Save some bullpen arms.
I would still rather have them keep playing like a normal game until someone scores and wins. But what your point of view is that they should just call it a tie after 2 innings.
I thought about it. I'm not really sure that I'm not all in on that idea. I think it's something to be considered. I think I would end up not being for that, but it's definitely something to be considered.
I would rather have them put someone on second base than them just call it a tie, because I don't think baseball needs tie games. It's never been a part of baseball.
I don't know. I don't like putting a guy on second base either. I think that's changing the rules of the game, the way the game's played, kind of. Although maybe I could be talking into it, but I'm not a big fan. I do think that there probably needs to be some kind of rule to help eliminate, 18, 19 inning games, because you're wasting a lot of bullpen arms in 19 inning games and the regular season games that don't really matter. And obviously in the playoffs, I think you should just play normal baseball. Play as long as it takes. Normal game.
I would rather have them put a guy on second every inning until they score rather than having a tie game. But
actually,
overall, I would just keep it how it is.
I'm coming around to where you are. Yeah, I think keep it how it is, but if you had to do something, I'd rather put a guy on second base than end in a tie after 10 innings. You've actually made me come around on that.
Even though that is changing the game, I don't think we need to have tie games in baseball.
Yeah, it would complicate the standings, maybe.
It would complicate the point, you don't want a point system.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to go to a point system like soccer or hockey.
Because, some teams might have, 5 or 6 ties, some teams might have 1 or 2, and just kind of makes things even more complicated than they are.
Yeah. So, now to everybody's favorite segment, the non-sports topic of the week. I feel like...
I think last time that was my favorite one the last time, the Groundhog Day.
I do too. That was the best part of the last podcast. The last podcast wasn't very good.
I agree.
But the Groundhog, I kind of want to be in Punxsutawney one day for Groundhog Day. I feel like that's got to be wild up there.
I went back and listened to that podcast, and Bryce said Punxsutawney 6 times.
I like saying Punxsutawney.
I honestly thought he said it more than 6 times, but that's what it is.
Anyways, so we live in southern Indiana, which is key to this topic. The question is, what matters more on a pizza, the cheese or the sauce? Now, in southern Indiana, I feel like people are way too enthralled or obsessed with cheese.
Cheese is so much more important than sauce.
That's exactly what I thought he was going to say. I disagree. I'm a sauce guy. I think the sauce is more important than the cheese.
The sauce doesn't... when I eat a piece of pizza, I don't think about eating the sauce.
I do think about the sauce.
Why do you think about the sauce?
I can't really break it down for you. I just think that it's more important than the cheese. I don't know. I think, I enjoy basically all different kinds of cheese, and it's fine. But I want the sauce to be good.
The sauce is always good.
No, not necessarily. There are better sauces than other sauces.
The cheese is not necessarily always good.
That's not always good. But here, let's say
here's the hierarchy of the pizza. Number 1 is the topping. That's the most important thing.
I'm just a cheese pizza guy, honestly. So.
Number 2 for me would probably be the crust or the breading of the pizza. Number 3 is the cheese. Number 4 is the sauce.
No, I definitely would have sauce higher. I'm not exactly sure the order I would put it in, but sauce would be above cheese, that's for sure.
The sauce, it doesn't really make that much of a difference because it's always the same.
Personally, it's not always the same. There are spicier sauces.
I've never had a spicier sauce.
I like a sweeter sauce. They make it. Have you ever been to Blaze Pizza? You can get 2 or 3 different kinds of sauces. They have spicy sauce, normal sauce.
Like, I've never been to a pizza restaurant or whatever, or a pizza place and told them, like, I want this specific kind of sauce. It's just always the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always just, the sauce isn't always the same. I disagree.
I just don't understand. the
Also,
logic.
answer this question for me. A lot of people in Southern Indiana are so obsessed with the cheese. They think that there can't be too much cheese. You know, just keep loading the cheese onto the pizza. That's not good. I think there can be too much cheese.
There can be too much cheese, but I think the cheese is more important because there's just more flavor in it. And the sauce...
I don't know if there is more flavor in it.
But the sauce is never different, is what I'm saying.
It is different.
I've never had...
You keep saying that. I mean, I'm going to have to bring you 2 or 3 different kinds of pizza, and you're going to taste how the sauce is different.
Okay, next podcast we'll eat some pizza. And
Maybe. Maybe we'll eat some pizza on episode 4 of the Hutch and Huber Podcast.
And we can rate. Let's see if they taste different. Like, when you go to Papa John's or Domino's or Pizza Hut, like, on
Maybe
the
we can
sauce...
rank those places, actually. It's not a bad idea.
Alright.
Maybe.
Heard it here first.
Maybe.
We're gonna rank that first.
Maybe. No guarantees.
Well, like, the sauce tastes the same at all those places.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Your taste buds are weird.
Now, Domino's is like a little more seasoned. It's like a little bit spicier sauce than Papa John's. I mean, I don't really remember all of them off the top of my head, but the sauce, I think, nobody's making me budge on this topic.
I'm
The
not
sauce
budging
is more
either.
sauce is more important than cheese.
Cheese is so much more important than the sauce.
We're not gonna find any middle ground on this. Anyway, actually, there is another part of this discussion: the triangle, the triangle pizza or the square pizza. What do you like more?
Triangle pizza is so much better because
I agree. We agree on this.
Because you can hold the triangle pizza, you can hold the crust, and then when I
Much
eat,
easier to hold.
much easier to hold and eat. But then once you get, and then you can eat the crust, which is one of my favorite parts of eating a pizza.
Yeah.
And then once you get to the square pieces, some of them they don't have the crust on them. I just feel weird when I eat it.
Yeah. When I have a square pizza, I always want to eat the outside pieces because it's easier to hold and everything. I don't really like eating the pieces with no crust. I'm definitely a triangle pizza guy. Triangle pizza, sauce is more important than the cheese.
This podcast is about food. It's not time.
2 of our 4 or 5 topics are about food. Anyways, tell us on Twitter what you think is more important on the cheese, or more important on the pizza, the sauce or the cheese, or
Put out a poll.
maybe we'll put out a poll. We can put out a poll for you guys. The sauce or the cheese, what's more important on the pizza? Also tell us, what do you like more, triangle pizza, square pizza? Just give us some feedback on the podcast overall. Also, I'd like to thank Drake and Cristiano Ronaldo for breaking a couple ties in our World Cup of Food bracket. And I would not like to thank you, Lionel Messi. Maybe I'll just take him out of my contacts. I think he big timed us.
Mm-hmm. That's unfortunate.
Not a fan of that. Stop big timing us, Lionel.
Unfortunate for him. He
We're
missed
not gonna
the
take it.
opportunity of a lifetime.
He doesn't know how many people listen to this podcast.
Exactly.
He has no idea.
Hundreds.
Hundreds, if that. Anyways, that's it. That's going to be it for episode 3 of the Hutch and Huber Podcast. Hopefully we'll be back with episode 4 soon.